This is a view from where we ate lunch today. My lunch consisted of my cheese crackers and Rice Krispie Square and a Coke for 5 shekels.
This is a good shot here. Basically the landfill.
The Valley of Gehenna. Record, okay.
Someone told me to go to the Valley of Hinnom. Here it is. That's a euphemism for this place. But there it is.
We'll share this one. You guys share that.
Tough there, Tony.
Yeah.
I realize that.
Tell me what you want to say about the Valley of Hinnom.
I think nothing has changed from the old days, from the land of refuge to now. It's still a bunch of trash down there.
Amen.
And we get the amen from the amen corner over here.
Dead Sea water to drink?
I have used a Hava hand cream. It's regressed my age to 35 years old now, instead of 39 almost.
And we brought this, we're bringing this back for our wives so they will know that we actually did buy them something if we don't lose it between here and Nashville.
Olympic Airlines,
Delta.
for sure.
Yeah, we are
Coming
going
into
first to stop,
Bethlehem.
so the church, the place is closed, and it will be open 2 o'clock. So we'll have a time, it's like 10 minutes before 1, and we'll have time for shopping of these souvenirs. Enjoy it. It's also really part of the tour, and because of the time of Christmas, you have all those Christmas elements here. Don't forget, I don't know if you have this cave of the Nativity in your home near the tree that you make for Christmas. If you put with the figures, they will ship it to you, so you will receive it another 2 months, 3 months, 1 month. Christmas 96, you will have it with the Christmas tree, nativity sceneries, with the figures. Also, you can take many kinds, the flight to Egypt, nice. You can take many things really from here. This is shop number 1 in Bethlehem. This is Rachel Tomb to the right, a Jewish holy place. Rachel Tomb. When Benjamin was born, his mother died. Rachel delivered Benjamin here. I know you know this, but please let us refresh it. Remember that 11 sons for Jacob were born outside the Holy Land. 11. One was born in the Holy Land. His name was Benjamin. And this is why Benjamin was very chauvinistic tribe. This is the reason why he was very chauvinistic. Remember King Saul was, which tribe King Saul was? From Benjamin. You remember the prophet, the disciple, the apostle Paul, he was from the tribe of Benjamin. No, yes, he says that. I am from Benjamin. Saul. These are very chauvinistic people, both of them. If I am Benjamin, I would say to my brothers, where are you come from? You come from Russia, from America, from East Europe, but I am local, I am Sabri. Benjamin was Sabar, cactus, was born in the Holy Land. You see the Palestinian flags? This is Bethlehem. I hope these people, they will not be frustrated another 1 week. I pray that they will not be frustrated.
Look there, Tony's style.
But they waited and waited and waited anxiously to Mr. Arafat, and here Arafat was here last week, I don't know.
Well, but that's a good place.
Yeah.
Man, I tell you what, I don't see. I know where he does this.
You see, all these things are welcoming, what you see, welcoming Mr. Arafat. Arafat, they call him Al-Qa'id al-Rams. Rams, you know what Rams means? Rams means the symbol of the Palestinian struggle. As even the Palestinians, they were struggling all their life, 2,000 years ago until now, and suddenly came Arafat. Yeah, to the right. Enjoy, you see the Palestinian police to the right. Now enjoy shopping. This is You will have really very special treatment here. You know, he will not give, he will give you a discount.
This is the jewelry shop, the shopping store where we're going to purchase some stuff. They give you a tray as you come in. This is the olive wood that they use to make all of the little various animals out of. We're in Bethlehem. I'm in downtown Bethlehem. I just finished shopping for Crusade. You can notice the sign across the road. Points toward Gaza. This is a little shop that we shopped in.
Only one thing. بيض صفائحنا. This is the only thing we have in the Palestinian history. They fought at least 6 battles and they were defeated in 8 battles. Well, this was in Galilee. This is the poetry of Galilee, George says, not Judah and Beersheba. No. Yeah, this is a beautiful Arab poetry about the Arab flags. Most of the Arab flags, they have the same colors. You notice this?
Yes.
Most of them, they took it really, most of the Arab flags are taken from this poetry. See, look how nice. The green and the white and the red and the black. The Herodion, yeah, to the left you will see it now. Soon here, to the left. See the mountain which was built by Herod the Great, like a volcanic mountain to the east. See it?
Yes.
Like a volcanic mountain. The mountain was made by Herod the Great. He really made the mountain. In the top of the mountain, he put his palace. So now we are going to the manger square. You leave everything in the bus, and we go to the cave of the Nativity, to the church of the Nativity, the cave of the Nativity. Yeah, okay. Enjoy this area, it is nice. What you do, this is like this. Here we go.
He's going to show his license.
On the front of that Palestinian police, you see the badges of police and tourism and everything.
Are you American? Yes, thank you. سجلتيها؟
سجليها عمي يا
Can I take your picture?
أنطون
فرح الناس
أنطون فرح 2 أهلا وسهلا بأهل الناس. 5
What I told you in the morning, you should see how much we have the faults of teaching. I told you, until now, no police was born from his mother asked me about my license. Did you see now? He asked me, if the lady, where is your license? I put it usually there to keep it clean, you know, but they asked me. Thank God. You see, very good. Yeah, they are really well organized, the Palestinian police. Indeed, you know, they have a great credit. I wish that you be in a Christmas night here. I wish it. I wasn't inside the mass. I cannot be inside the mass. Nowhere really. 4 hours, I cannot take it. I went outside to make a tour here, in this area. I have to tell this loudly on the minaret. If they give me, I will speak it. I walked all this area like this about 10 times. No one bottle of beer was in the courtyard of the major square. No one bottle of wine was there. Why? Because really the Palestinians respect the place very, very, very well, and they know what they are doing. Thank God. I've been many times here in each Christmas. I go outside. I never go to the mass. I go in, if they oblige me, I go to the shepherd's field. Not here. But no one drinking alcohol outside. And this is the first year since many, many years.
Good.
Better.
No, the better. Everything is getting better. You see the place here in the Nativity, the church of the Nativity. We go inside from what we call it the eye of the needle gate. The eye of the needle gate. Anyway, this church is built above a cave. Hopefully the cave is the cave of the Nativity, where Jesus was born. We don't know where is the hotel. In the book of St. Luke, nobody really knows whether, you know, in St. Luke they say Joseph brought Mary for the count and etc., time for her to deliver her first son. No place in the inn. They have to stay where? In a cave. If this is the cave or not, this is according to Helena, the mother of Constantine. The beginning of the Byzantine time. Helena asked the local people, where is the cave Jesus was born in? And they brought her to this cave where this church is built. This church was never torn down. The Persian army came here really after they turned down all the churches in the Holy Land. They came here to destroy this church. Look, where you see the blue? No, not blue anymore. To the right near the entrance, there was a picture of the wise man. They are carrying the gifts to Jesus. You remember they brought the gifts to Jesus. What they brought? Gold, frankincense, and myrrh. And the one who made that picture from clay, the figures, they look like Persians. So the Persians said, this place is ours. Why we have to destroy it? They left it as it is, and they retreated back. Now there is a replica to this picture inside. I will show it to you. Even the shepherds, they look like Persians, and the way they wear their dress and other things. You will see this is the reason why this building was never taken since it was built in the 4th century. 330 AD, the building was built, and this is a basilica design, the same as Al-Aqsa. Do you remember the visit to Al-Aqsa? The same Al-Aqsa imitation to the basilica. We play here to the right. The picture was the picture of wise man. You know, many times we teach, we say 3 wise men. Who said there were 3? No one really. Yeah, the gifts, that's right. Maybe 1 man with 3 gifts, maybe 1,000 men with 3 gifts. But the picture was here. And the figures in the picture, they look like Persians. The Persian army, they said, this is ours. Leave it, they left it. See the gate, this is like this, the eye of the needle. This is the Crusade arch gate, and that's the original gate. See how high the original gate? Elephant and 2 camels, they can go through. But this gate, the eye of the needle gate, we will try You know you see? If you can go through, you mean you can go to heaven.
We are inside the Church of the Nativity.
How do you like this book you read? Good? Oh, they're not bad, yeah. The only better book than this is Morphy O'Connor. If you have a little extra money to buy it, you buy it. You have a good book in your hands. I have to give some advices with no money, you know. You pay for this, but she doesn't.
This is the mosaic in the floor of the Church of the Nativity. It dates back to the time of Constantine's mother, Helena.
You see, first, I hope everybody is here. This is really for those who love to follow the history. It's now easy for you, this chronicles, this history, you know, periods. It's very easy, you know. The Byzantine, they were the first to suggest this place. Byzantine, they were 324 AD. Helena and Constantine, 324 AD. Helena and her son Constantine. Constantine, after his name, Constantinople was built. Constantinople. The other name for Constantinople is Byzantion. See? So the followers of Constantinople, we call them what? Byzantine. So who are the Byzantines? All of them, they were Roman Catholics. All the Byzantines were Roman Catholics. But they followed the Oriental churches after Constantinople. See, Constantine built this church. You see, the floor was like this, the whole floor. 324 AD. Somebody did not like it. His name was Justinian. Remember his name. Justinian was 520 AD, 526 or 520 AD. Buried this beauty. This beauty was under this floor, as you see, until 1932 indeed. 1932, we had an English archaeologist. They wanted to see how much these pillars are strong. See these pillars? Now he made a dig here, he found the floor. To be sure the floor everywhere, he made a dig everywhere, and he found the floor. Wherever you go now, you see pieces of wood. Under the wood, you have the floor of Helena and Constantine. See? This is the story of this wood and the floor of Helena and Constantine, and the floor of Justinian. You stand above. You stand above Justinian.
Did they ever shine it all up?
The 29th of December, each year. I don't know why God gave you to ask this question. I wish that would be on 29th of December when they wash the floor and when they shine it.
You mean all of that was shining?
Everything, yeah, they shine it, yeah. That doesn't. Why 29th? Because the day of the communities, all of them agree that's the day where they worship and they shine all these things. See, if you come to me a moment, you know, this is really a basilica design. Basilica. See, it is high in the middle, and the wings are lower. Sunshine comes from the windows. See, in the top you must have a dome. The dome must be in the edge, always in the edge. Do you remember? We will see that again and again and again. The dome of Al-Aqsa Mosque. Al-Aqsa Mosque dome. It's in the edge. You see, the basilica is always the three parts. Come and see the three parts. Iconostase, you know why the iconostase? The icon, where you put the icons. You see the wall there, the end is the wall. See some pictures there, painted pictures or icons. See, behind it is the altar. Where they celebrate masses. That's the most holy place is inside. That's only for the priests. Now from here where we stand until the wall of the wood, this is the area of those who are baptized, from here until there. And from here until the entrance is the area of those who are not baptized. See, they have to leave the Mass in the time where they say the Credo, we believe in only one God. Let's go.
A little hallway going into another room. The Church of the Nativity.
There's a little piece for the Roman Catholics down below, which is what we call the manger. Only the manger for the Romans. And most of the church, all the basilica, almost really, for the Greek Orthodox and their followers, like Armenian Orthodox, like very little for the Syriac Orthodox. It's very difficult to know which floor for the Greeks, which floor for these, what's for. But take it easy, and we are going to go to see something underneath. We call it the Cave of the Nativity. No need for all this autobiography.
I'm wondering when that's going to start happening at church.
I went with them. King Edward III sent this wood as a gift to the church. 1442 was really from the Great Britain. 1442, Edward III. Everything above you is British. I mean, except the brass or the candles. The ceiling really was from the United Kingdom in those days, 1442. Remember, 1442, the United Kingdom was not Anglican until that time. We did not have the troubles of Henry VIII.
We're going down into the cave, supposedly of Nativity. We're going in to this. It's very dark.
If you count, you have 14 sides to this.
You smell the oil in the lamp.
To David, from David to the exile, and from the exile to the birth of Jesus. Remember St. Matthew? You see?
Anton, we can't hear you.
Okay, we will have seen this here. Come down, please. All of you. No? It's Crusade. Good question. After I go listen to the See, if you come down, we believe Jesus was born here. Our traditions, this is part of the Cave of the Nativity, part of the cave, and we believe Jesus was born here. And there is a star here, 14 sides star, 14 sides. Why do they make it 14 sides? Because to remind you in the genealogy of Jesus, from Abraham to David to the exile, 14 generations, and from the exile to Jesus Christ, 14 generations. That's why we have the star of the 14 generations in front of you to mark the birthplace of Jesus. The manger was down. The manger was taken to the Church of Maria Maggiore in Rome. This is the birthplace of Jesus. This is the Greek Orthodox, down to the... I think you noticed how the building is like a cross. Did you see that? It's exactly like a cross. And indeed, this is a very, very old building in this country. 324 AD. Never turned, never destroyed at all. But there are lots of history and lots of problems. The moment you go to the history, you find lots of problems. I'll give you an example, for instance, if everybody is here. Remember Remember the year 1054. Good to remember this. 1054 AD, the main split in the church, the biggest split in the church. The church was split, Rome in the west, Constantinople in the east. Constantinople, not only Constantinople, there were 5 patriarchs, like 5 heads to the Greek Orthodox Church. We still have really 5 heads to the Orthodox churches. One of them is the one in Constantinople, the main one in Constantinople. All the Christians in the Middle East, except one church, really, they followed Constantinople. It means all of them felt that they are not following the Pope in Rome. The moment you follow Constantinople, you don't recognize the Pope as the head of the church. The Romans list everything here. 1054. 1102, take 1100, it's really 1102. The Crusaders entered this church. Where the Crusaders came from, you remember them, the 5 countries, right? I don't know if they tried to sell you the cross of Jerusalem, they tell you those 5 crosses. You see them in some people, they wear them as necklace, you know. The cross of Jerusalem, 5 crosses. France, England, Spain, Germany, and Italy, 5 crosses. Those countries, all of them, they were Romans. The first Roman Catholic leader entered the church here was Godfrey, 1102. The moment they entered here, the church was what? Roman Catholic. To prove that this is Roman Catholic, look what they made. You see the mosaics? All the mosaics on the walls. All the mosaics on the walls are Crusade mosaics. The Crusaders were here like 200 and some years, 250 years. They were pushed outside. Again, they had the church in the hands of the Greek Orthodox churches. What they did, they cut the mosaics to prove to those who come later that the Romans have here what? Nothing. Indeed, they have nothing. You know what they have? They gave them the manger down below, the manger, and they gave them, look what they gave him here. Let me show you what they gave them here. They slowly after is very much war between them. This passage here, from this door to this door, all the way down to the cave, this is the passage of the Roman Catholic only. Suppose there will be a mass, like midnight mass, like last week, midnight mass. The priests and the patriarchs, when they walk from the St. Catherine to the cave of the Nativity, they have to walk here only. They cannot walk here. This is Armenian Orthodox area. See, Armenian, but they are Orthodox. We have Armenian Catholics, very few. Most of the Armenians are what? Orthodox Armenians. They don't follow the Pope and they don't recognize the Pope as the head of the church. The Orthodox, but the Catholics, they recognize the Pope. So the Catholics were pushed that side, outside. And most of the basilica is Greek Orthodox and their followers. Greek Orthodox and their followers. Now, the moment you go inside this basilica, look to the candles. Above the candles, it is easy to see the Greek Orthodox cross. The Greek Orthodox cross like T, O. Always T, O. O and the T. This is Tallus Phallus, the guardians of the Holy Sepulchre. This is the order of the Greek Orthodox order in the Holy Land. They call themselves the guardians of the Holy Sepulchre. Also, we have the Armenians here, or we have Syriac Orthodox here. For 2 nights, Syriac Orthodox, imagine really, Syriac Orthodox, they have the right 2 nights to celebrate Mass over there. Syriac Orthodox. I wish you would be here until the 6th of January. And you come here. 6th of January, if you come to the Mass here, you hear a Mass here, Armenian Mass, Syriac Mass, and the Greek Orthodox Mass at the same time. And don't laugh loudly, and the one who shouts more is right more. This is the famous church. The famous church of midnight mass, Nativity, of the Roman Catholic. This is the famous Roman Catholic church for midnight mass. St. Catherine. We call it St. Katrina from Alexandria. It was built in 1882. Only 114 years old church. This one. After the Romans lost everything there, they paid a little bribe to the Turks and they took this area and they built what you see. Roman Catholic Church, St. Catherine. But it is built indeed upon the continuation of the Nativity. The cave of the Nativity is a very big cave, huge cave. You see the wheels. Usually, if I'm really a good journalist, I'd like to convey the mass by lights everywhere. The camera should be given all the time upon those wheels. Why those wheels? This is to show you how St. Catherine was killed by her parents. Her parents put her body in between two wheels, and they moved the wheels one on the opposite side, because this lovely, beautiful girl, she accepted the Christianity in spite of her parents. Her parents did not like Christianity. She accepted Christianity in Alexandria in the 2nd century, and finally they killed her because they lost their prestige and their honor in the town, in Alexandria. This is why you see these wheels, you see the wheels. And this is it, St. Catherine of Midnight Mass.
Going down into a cave where Jerome did his translation. Oh man. Franciscans. Church of the Nativity, where they believe Jesus was born in a cave. No one knows where the inn was at.
Really, only 1 week. 1 week only. To go outside, at least 50 boys, these are the peddlers, they come to me. They're fat. They have leg wrap.
No, I don't care.
Man.
Oh, I might eat that apricot. Get this one. Thank you. Oh, good one.
A little distance from Bethlehem and Jerusalem, very little distance indeed. And we do not have enough rain in this country. The distance between us and Bethlehem, an air distance, is 1 mile. Air distance is the distance of the wind. And if you go, maybe we'll go to the west side of Jerusalem in daytime, west side of Bethlehem daytime, you see how green is the country the other side. The moment you come to the east, you go to the wilderness, you go to the area of the shadow of the death, you go to the area where no life. Usually people, they use always the good land in the west. The bad land in the east, they leave it. So who goes to the bad land? The Bedouins. The Bedouins, they have their shepherds, but they need something to eat for themselves. So what they use, I speak biblical times, not today also. It's a biblical time ages. Look at this valley, it's a good example. I'm going to drive with you in this area later, after we finish. You see the valley? The valley is where they put their wheat and their barley. We have vineyards like grapes, and the tops of the mountains, they have olives. This is everywhere. This is, you arrange the biblical calendar in the time of Jeremiah and the time of the Bible. This is how you arrange biblical farm. Grain in the valleys. You have to terrace the valley. I believe you see the valley is terraced. The valley is terraced really. The lowest part of the valley, you look at the other side to the right. The lowest part of the valley always for the wheat. Because you have deep soil. The upper and every one of them is suitable to be called what? The cave of the shepherd. Suitable, if it's not here, the other one, no problem. Even this is good to be the shepherd, no problem. But they were in some place here near Bethlehem. And the glory of the Lord shone around them. And the angels brought them good tidings, good news. Go up to Bethlehem, you'll find a child wrapped in swaddling cloth, put in a manger. And the angel was singing in front of them what? Glory to God in the high, and peace to the people in what? Of goodwill. It means if you have goodwill, you have peace. It's a contract with God. See, it is part of from the cave. There's a mass going there in the big cave, a mass. And here also we can take a mass, and that's the new church of the Canadian money. The real money is Canadian. That is from the Canadians, indeed.
And Joseph also went up from Galilee out of the city of Nazareth into Judea, unto the city of David, which is called Bethlehem, because he was of the house and lineage of David, to be taxed with Mary his espoused wife, being great with child. And so it was that while they were there, the days were accomplished that she should be delivered. And she brought forth her firstborn son, and wrapped him in swaddling clothes, and laid him in a manger, because there was no room for them in the inn. And there were in the field, and there were in the same country shepherds abiding in the field, keeping watch over their flock by night. And lo, the angel of the Lord came upon them, and the glory of the Lord shone round about them, and they were sore afraid. And the angel said unto them, Fear not, for behold, I bring you good tidings of great joy, which shall be to all people. For unto you is born this day in the city of David a Savior, which is Christ the Lord. And this shall be a sign unto you. You shall find the babe wrapped in swaddling clothes, lying in a manger. And suddenly there was with the angel a multitude of the heavenly host, praising God and saying, Glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace and goodwill toward man. And it came to pass, as the angels were gone away from them into heaven, the shepherds said one to another, Let us now go even unto Bethlehem, and see this thing which is come to pass, which the Lord hath made known unto us. And they came with haste, and found Mary and Joseph and the babe lying in a manger.
O little town of Bethlehem, how still we see thee lie. Out of the deep and dreamless sleep, the silent stars go by. Yet in thy dark streets shining the everlasting light.
Sister Hufford, what's their names?
Donna and Rita.
Donna and Dita.
This is Rita and this is Donna. Halloween dear, huh?
You want to say hi to people in America?
You want to say hello, Mickey Mouse. Huh? Can you say that? Hello? Can you say that? Say marhaba, America, huh? Marhaba. Her face corrections? Thank you.
Yeah, I thought camels stunk, but goats stink worse. When you get water on goat fur, it makes butyric acid, which is that rancid smell of butter.
Daddy used to keep a goat. He was a dairy farmer. He couldn't drink.
You can see as we
Okay,
leave
even
Bethlehem.
soccer to the Bedouins down to the right. Look here to the right. See the football? Soccer field down to the right.
Soccer field they're building.
This is the Shepherd's Field Drive. I hope you see those shepherds now. And their caves and their tents. I hope you do really. If it depends how if we are late or not late. We are not early, but we are not late. This is 4 o'clock. The Armenian caves are used by the Bedouins.
It's like a trash dump. Look how rich the land is up under it.
I see up to the left the Christian village of Beth Sahur. And really they are courageous indeed, you know. God knows how much these people to the left, how much they sacrifice to live in the border with the desert. To live in, look the cave here to the right, see?
What's that up on the top, the stonework?
Which one, to the left?
On the right.
Yeah, there are some. This is the sign that the winter is coming. All the other caves are used. Just look the other side caves. They are used really by the sheep and the goats. But this cave is used by the Bedouins, the family. The donkey in front. You see the donkey?
It's hard to see it through the door, but
yeah, to the right.
The Bedouins are using the caves under Shepherd Valley to live in stocks.
Yeah, that's the family. The bakery, you see the bakery behind, you can see the smoke. The black. With his goats, huh? Coming back with his goats. Okay, walks in the front of his flock and they are following him.
Stop for just a second.
Yeah, we will stop here. We'll stop soon. Yeah, here. Look, he stopped. Look, all of them stop. You see? Wait. You see?
Stone walls here.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, look here. I'd like to point to another. Watch this. See the tree I am going to show you, the mustard tree. You see the trees here? All these trees? All the trees here are the mustard seed tree, huh?
Mustard seed trees.
on the hill or at the foot?
Oh, look. They stop. Oh, God love the shepherd. Look, see. He's waving for us. Where is Mr. Doggy? I did not see him. Did you see any dog?
I'm getting it right through the window.
The dog must be in the end. Where is the dog? Where? In the front. And he calls them in their names. Believe me, if you go there and you listen to, they call them in their names and they know every one of them know his name. The watchtower was. We have to find, in order to see the watchtower, we have to go a little bit to the other slope. It'll be easy for us to see where the watchtower. So the guard will sit in the watchtower and he guards his garden, his vineyard, you know. And look, these are the mustard seeds. You know how small are the seeds of these trees? Do you like to touch them to see how they're small? Are very little small seeds.
Oh, yeah.
We'll stop in one place which is easy for us. That's the issue. You see the dog here, the dog, you see? The dog and the girls. Come on, George. If she brought the, yeah, go ahead, go, George. We'll be in trouble with them, you know, then they will need money to give money. You see the dog and the hen, you see the hen? Here, to the left. And Mr. Donkey also.
Mr. Donkey. Dog. There's Mr.
We like to frustrate them or we stop. We go.
Okay.
Should have thrown out $1 anyway.
Oh dear, we go. I know the Bedouins. Sarah, that's Abraham, you see? Sarah and Abraham.
Stop.
Oh, that's
Sarah and Abraham.
no.
Yeah, God loves Sarah. See the lambs?
That's Jacob gone to Laban.
Yeah, the same. This is like Jacob's well. You see the Samaritan woman?
Yeah.
Maybe also another biblical view.
Yeah.
Look, she is really the woman, huh? Oh, nice woman, good woman. Good woman, she is doing the job, and the man, you know, is watching the flock.
She's drawing the water.
Where it ought to be.
This is why he has to marry number 2, 3, you know.
The lamb's fixing to jump in the water.
Honeydew.
He's a go-getter.
They like to go down. I see he's a nice man. They like to. No, huh?
He's a go-getter. Go-getter to water to the lambs.
Like to make a deal to see how much the lamb, how many.
There's some of that bread looks like horse collars.
Yesterday, Labi, very good work done by Sarah. Sarah. She is doing a very good job. Every place we go, that's nice. At the end, you know, you'll make.
This is a steep drive.
Hey, look up there on top. Gas pump. Top of the building.
Well,
Hey, you really catch rock now. See how thin it is? Probably get it there every year.
now here
I
is.
like that place.
Tim said this is where he wants to build his winter house.
Well, I'm tired to. We got this too.
He likes the view. This is just along the side of the road. You can tell how clean the Arabs are.
This is even better. We got a junkyard.
Yeah, behind their house, they retire the ones they don't use.
We're showing to Israel or Palestine.
This will be Israel territory. So there's the Palestinian.
Nice. See? Now we are on the main road. Yalla. Mountain. Mount Azazel. The Jewish people call it Mount Azazel. Az means goat, El means God. Azazel, goat for God.
Scapegoat.
The Muslims in their culture are against dogs. Do you know this? Muslims against dogs. The dog is unclean animal. But Bedouins, they have lots of dogs because of their sheep and goats.
We gotta pass it, so we beat it there. Come on, George, look around.
Some good Samaritans in.
The Good Samaritan.
Oh my!
Well, we found a big Bedouin.
Look to the right, you see?
Look at all the sheep
See, look, yeah, the sheep and the goats and the smoke and the tents and the lambs and chicken and the women. Look, they are cleaning.
Sweeping the floor. And he's observing.
Yeah.
Wow!
That's the biggest olive wood.
Yeah.
Wow, he's a pretty camel.
Nabi Musa. This is really in our
That sounds like a loaded
There are many tombs suggested by the Mamelukes. Nobody is buried there.
Barren desert just right out of Jerusalem.
desert where he was buried.
Mamelukes were orphans adopted by the caliphs. Remember the story of the Mamelukes? Orphans adopted by the caliphs. Those orphans did not know their parents from Asia.
The Dead Sea.
And the purpose of the Caliph was to make an army, and the soldier in the army did not know their parents. They know only the Caliph is the father and the land is the mother. They were very loyal. This is how they taught. So the problem of those Mameluk, less than 2 miles, will be in the River Jordan, where we believe the Lord Jesus was baptized. The area is opened twice a year. I hope they will open it really always and forever. It is opened on the 6th of January, the day of the Epiphany, and it opened the Good Friday also. The Good Friday and the day of the Epiphany. Your left hand, the area where John met Jesus and baptized him.
Area to the left where John met Jesus and baptized
baptismal
him.
spot. Let's see, east side is Moab. Ruth from Moab.
It's the east side of Moab. Sodom.
You can see the area, flat area, coming off of the mountain range toward Jericho. There's a guy on top of that area up there. See a soldier? Looks like he got a gun.
Make a donkey sound. Make a donkey sound by
Why? Because no more water comes down from the Jordan
Water
River.
shrinking back.
Israel took the water and Jordan took their water, and here, let's see, no more water comes down.
Gas station right on the edge.
This is a new gas station to the right, very much new. You see, the road really, it is in the hands of the Israelis forever. This according to the peace agreement.
About 1980.
In the 15 years ago, yeah, in 1980, like that.
This mountain shows you the end of the mountains right down here where we're.
You see, the
driving along
mountains
the
up
edge.
to the right are the mountains of the desert of Judah, Judean Desert.
The lowest area things
The sea has many names. Why? Because we make many good elements for life from the Dead Sea water. We can really count at least 4 reasons to change the name of the Dead Sea to the biblical names. Remember how many things for beauty we make today from the Dead Sea water. Beauty is life. Remember, we make medicine from the Dead Sea. The riddle snake, which we have here, we call it the snake of the rings. It is yellow, black, circles. It's a very bad snake.
I don't want to see them.
They are very bad at the daytime, it is hot, but at night, in the morning.
Yeah, if you're walking.
This is the
This
sewer.
Sewer?
Bad water from Jerusalem.
Sewer coming from Jerusalem.
Yeah. But really 3 big reservoirs up at the top of the mountain. There's a Table Mountain.
A hotel.
And the Israelis, they make
here.
a project to reach.
You can see how the Dead Sea is dried up a lot.
I hope these animals are awakened, and come down to Nayas Land in Central Africa. This is the rift, the Afro-Asian rift. Your right hand. They're dry, but sometimes really when we have the rain, you see lots of...
A whole bunch of them up there.
Yeah. Bunch of them, yeah.
That's the one I saw earlier.
Tell where there's been a waterfall there.
6 months.
Killing ibex or deer.
Yeah, we love animals. Why the tree is special?
This area is the valley of Engedi, where David hid
Yeah, you
himself
can
from
make
Saul.
really a very big article about this subject, but don't forget the fire. don't forget.
This is still the valley of Engedi,
They used to.
where David hid from Saul. Palm trees
This
have
is
been planted.
Engedi. En means spring. En means spring. And Gedi means goat. Goat. The spring of the goats. This is the name of this area to your right hand.
Spring of the goats.
See, Dead Sea is shrinking, dying. We need it. We need the Dead Sea.
Right across from the Dead Sea. That's the Engedi
Suddenly,
Spa.
you know, the Arabs refused this plan. They said this plan is
This is Masada.
Wahad bus. You see, the second bus is in hurry. That one. This one.
This is our group going to get on the cable car that goes up to Masada.
We'll all go together, won't we? We're not cold. Somebody just start that song. Take our minds off.
If you look out the back window, you'll see the lower end of the Salt Sea. And you can see the section where it's so dry. But she is.
Look straight out, and you'll be okay.
You just have to look straight out. It's like looking out the station wagon.
Now this is nothing like looking out the window of a car. We got walk.
There goes the other one.
It all seems to just fit together so good. She said, except my sister.
This is where the cable car comes to a stop. And you look over the Dead Sea. It is phenomenal. The squares are Roman camps as they encamped around the foot of Masada here.
To collect the rain. Rain from the Table Mountain, you collect, and rain from the valleys. You have to collect. You have to do something to collect the water from the valleys to these cisterns. See, this is a cistern made by Herod the Great. Why Herod himself really, he used Masada as a retreat house. Retreat house, you need lots of water to live, to continue to be. We will see later on why we need lots of water in the time of Herod. Herod, remember, from 34 BC until 4 BC. About 30 years he lived as a king. He was the king of Israel like 30 years. He ruled Israel 30 years. He used to go up and down to the top of the mountain by cables, really. People, slaves used to carry him. Baskets used to carry him from the bottom to the top. When he used to come to this retreat house, up. But you need water. Look at the water canal here, you see? Look at the water canal made by Herod. See, all the way up to, how can you fill this cistern of water? Please take a look. We go up. Try to solve it alone. I'm sure you are not going to discover how we solve. But I try to, you know, people when they come here, they ask, is it enough, this Table Mountain, to fill all these cisterns of water if you have rain? How much rain you need in the desert to fill this cistern of water? But slowly, really, thank God, really, 4 months ago, remember this great name in our country, Ehud, Professor Ehud, he solved for us the problem. Remember his name. Soon, really, I will show you in our way, we have at least 8, 10 cisterns of water like this. How they used to fill them in fresh water.
Let me step in. Get a
Remember
picture.
yesterday, the woman in the cistern of the water?
We are.
Remember he said they make those little bitty trails?
I don't understand why this thing is picking up so good in here. I mean, it's seeing better than I am.
Well, they had areas there where you could kind of step aside.
You can see the camps. The
What
Romans.
kind of camp?
That's where the Romans camped.
We call it retreat house.
Retreat.
Try really to think about retreat house for one person. If you like, it is not a big sin if you think, for instance, about Camp David. It's not a big problem. What they do there, you know, try really. Not everybody is a president. Not everybody is Herod the Great. Try to think what this man, Herod the Great, did in this retreat house. Now, he wanted really for us, look, this is a gate from his time. See, this is the plaster. See the plaster? He wanted to show you from a distance, it looks like a marble. It's not a marble, it's a plaster, just to make it beautiful and clean, and from a distance, it looks that he paid lots of money to make it. Wherever you see below the black, always this is the way you study the site. Yourself, you study it your own. Everything below the black is original. Everything above the black is reconstructed.
Sit up here and
Card. I saw a film really in Florida about Herod the Great and Masada. And you see the slaves how they used to carry him up and down. He did not care if they died, if they live, if no problem. He can find slaves always, everywhere in this area. Many slaves, little money, you can have many slaves. Herod the Great and the retreat house. Before Herod the Great, 100 BC, remember this is where you start. Always you must find the starter, where to start from. 100 BC, this place was here like a Mickey Mouse police station. A small police station built by the Hasmoneans to watch the way of the salt. If we will have an extra time, really, I will take you to the beginning of the way of the salt today. The salt from the highway, King's Highway, the east near the Dead Sea, to the Via Maris to Gaza, via Arad, Beersheba. Arad and Beersheba. The road from Petra to Arad, Beersheba, not far away from here. Here you watch the way of the salt. Why you watch the way of the salt in those days, 100 BC, even the Roman time really, the salt much more expensive than the gold. We have indeed memories of those army generals sitting with their army, mercenaries, asking them, what do you like to be paid in, salt or gold? And they used to, remember the name in English, salary, you see, salary. It came really from salt, salary. This is from there. And why it is so expensive? Because the Egyptians used to buy the salt to preserve their bodies. I wish we, the study chemistry, we know what kind of salt they used to preserve their bodies in those days. It's really secret. The more your job is secret, you make more money. It's the secret of the profession. Here they watch them. They push those merchants back to the desert, and the Hasmoneans took the road. And to be sure that the road in your hand, you have what? To keep looking and watching. The Romans came here. The first week the Romans came to this country, 68 BC, by Julius Caesar. You remember Julius Caesar? The first thing really Julius Caesar decided to do, and Pompey, the first thing they decided to do was to put on the Jewish people a king not suitable to be a king. Remember this. You put a king, make him a king, and he is not suitable to his job. They discovered the best one is Herod the Great. And what is special in Herod the Great Father? Herod the Great Father was a tax collector. Very powerful man, big family, lots of children, many sons, many children. He's a very powerful man. So they brought the ugliest one between his children, Herod the Great, and they put him a king. Now, maybe you ask seriously to the history, what is wrong in the history of Herod the Great? What's wrong in him? Herod the Great family, his great-grandmother was not Jewish. So his mother's side is not Jewish. It means if his mother's side is not Jewish, he is not perfect Jewish. So you bring him and you put him king where? On the Jewish people. To keep his job, he must be honest to those who put him, to the Romans. That's it. And this really what happened. The Jewish people did not trust him. He did not trust the Jewish people. They did not trust him. He was very tough. He has a very good real sword, really. Anyone he doubted in him, he killed him. What do you want the man to kill his sons and his wife to please the Romans? He killed them. He wanted to be king in any price. This is Herod the Great. And he continued until 4 BC. Before really his death, before the end, I wish that you read Josephus, what I take also from Josephus. Before his end, the Romans wanted to change him. Finish, they used him. He went to ask the help of the Nabateans. They refused to help him against the Romans. He went down to Antony and Cleopatra. They refused to help him. He came back, he died in Jericho. You know how Josephus described his death? He said, this man was unable to stand, unable to go. He smelled his mouth, his nose, his everything. This is syphilis. Women from all over the area. This is Herod the Great. He's a king, he can obtain them easily. He died in Jericho. He was buried in Herodion. You remember yesterday we passed by near Herodion. This is how Josephus says. And after him, he gave, before his death, he gave his power to his son Antipas. You remember what's special in this man? His mother was Samaritan. The mother of Antipas was Samaritan. Do you please the Romans? Yes, sure. Samaritans really were worse than all the Gentiles in the eyes of the Jewish people. You have to please the Romans to be sure that those Romans are happy from you. He gave the power to Antipas, Herod's Antipas. Herod's Antipas' mother was not Jewish. She was what? Samaritan. Worse than any other woman. Here Antipas ruled this country. And this is why Jesus cried in the slopes of Mount of Olives. Because of Antipas, because of Hellenism, because of all these things. After Herod the Great, children, we had the problem in Israel. Caesarea is boiling. You remember near the sea, against the Romans. Hellenism in everywhere. A group of fanatical zealots, they came down to the desert to prepare themselves against the last stand against the Romans. Revolt in Galilee. Romans sent Vespasian. Vespasian was the father of Titus. Father of Titus destroyed Galilee. And then he was crowned as an emperor in Caesarea near the sea, Vespasian. He returned back home and amazing us, he took with him Josephus Flavius, the historian, the Jewish historian, was taken by Vespasian to where? To Rome. Josephus Flavius was the army general of the Israelis in Galilee. He escaped in front of Vespasian like a little mouse from place to place. At the end, Josephus Flavius said to his friends, kill yourself. And they started each one to kill the other. When his time came to kill himself, he said, stop it, this is suicide. The source is himself. He wrote about this. The end he went to Rome. The Romans took everything in Galilee, destroyed Galilee. Romans hated Jewish people, Vespasian especially. Many people, they go, they start, why you go to destroy Galilee, dear Vespasian? Come down, destroy Jerusalem, and that's it. Listen, his idea was, Galilee was always a shelter to the Jewish people. When they have troubles everywhere, they used to go to the shelter in Galilee. If you hate your enemy, don't let him escape to the shelter. Destroy his shelter first, and then go to him. This is really Vespasian. This is Pearl Harbor in the modern history. This is Dunkirk in the history of the British. I hope they will come to this idea. Remember how they mined the Northern Sea, how they did not like the British and the Allies to escape? That was the idea. When you hate them like this is Vespasian. And then he said to his son Titus, go to Jerusalem. I take this Vespasian with the Josephus with me. Go to Jerusalem. He destroyed Jerusalem 70 AD, and then he sent the mercenaries to Masada, to this place. In their way to Jerusalem, they destroyed Qumran. Then they come down to Masada. They made a siege in Masada from 70 AD until 73 AD. See these Roman camps where we go, these are like squares, little squares around. There were 12,000 Roman soldiers around Masada. 961 Jewish people up in the top of the mountain. They were zealots, these zealots. And then the end, remember at the end, the Romans decided to make a ramp from the other side. We'll see the ramp. And then at the end, who made the ramp for the Romans? They were Jewish slaves. Jewish slaves. The Jewish in Masada up in the top of the mountain, they said, we will not kill our brothers. It was easy, really. You throw stones, you kill them. We will not kill them. They decided to divide these 960 people to smaller groups. Each one killed his group. And then the leader, they play the lottery. If you know what's in my hand, you kill me. If you don't know, I kill you. Until the last 3 man, wife, and their son, they found 3 bodies in the northern palace of Masada. We will be above that northern palace. This is really the story of Masada quickly. The only one historian wrote about Masada was Josephus Flavius. The only one historian. No other historian wrote about Masada. We wish really we can find another historian who wrote about Masada. I remember here in this place, loudly, the great really prime minister we lost, Mr. Rabin. Last year in the session in the parliament, he said to the opposition, you know how much I love Masada. You know how much I love Masada. 3 times, and he left the session. His idea was, we have to find something to live with our neighbors. I cannot come say, and I will go to commit suicide if my neighbor did not like me. This is his idea. Rabin's idea. Let's go, we will touch the subject from another angle. You see, the top of the mountain is very solid rock. It's solid rock, it's dolomite. Dolomite, if you remember this formation, very solid rock. The base always, the bottom is clay. All the Table Mountains all of them are the same. Top is hard, solid rock. The base is clay, soft. At the top we quarry. You see, this is a quarry. How they quarried rock? It is easy if it is hard. The moment the rock is hard, easy to quarry it. If the rock is soft, it is very bad to quarry it. You make a hole in the hard rock, you put a piece of wood. Until now we use the same methods really. And then you put a wood in the hole, and then you put water on the wood, and so the wood getting bigger, so it is split.
That's a nice shot.
Black line represents what is original below it. What is above it is what has been put in by man. A villa. Did you see that? This is a villa.
Yeah, right.
You reckon I can get Coretta to stay in one of these villas? There's. Well, the air's fairly comfortable going through these when you're not in the sun. No passage.
Start to push, Oh God, loves America.
And you're trying.
Okay, give it away, please. Little one lane open to the others. Yeah, please. Let one lane open. Some tourists are coming. I can't bet.
Grazie.
Ah, bene, Italiano. Nice. Give them the way they are in Harem. Maybe they have a long day tour today. Remember the 3 ages. Do you have to remember them with the 100 BC? The 100 BC, the second time is Herod the Great time, 34 BC until 4 BC. And then remember the Zealots. The Zealots, they were, let us say, like from 40 AD, 42 AD until the fall of Masada, 73 AD. What is the difference between these three ages? First of all, remember, when we speak about the 100 BC, it's a police station only, to watch the way of the salt. When we come to the time of Herod the Great, it's a retreat house for one man and his guests. Sure, one man, when he goes to spend his time there to enjoy himself, he has many guests to come, so with his friends. Now, the third time, the time of the children of Herod the Great, nobody used it from them really. Nobody. We do not have any evidence that the children of Herod the Great used this place. After that, you come the Zealots. The Zealots, what they did? The first thing the Zealots did, they destroyed everything was done by Herod the Great, and they made a community life here. Community life. Please. See? Now, what's the meaning of that? The Zealots said Herod the Great was filthy. He was sinful, a man of sin. So anything was done by him is bad. Even his bathhouse, really. Their philosophy. You cannot use the bathhouse that was made by Herod the Great. See, those Zealots, the three ages. So today when we go to say that Yigal Yadin, he is the one really who restored Masada. He was very proud in himself. Maybe his father, really. His father was Professor Zucchini, great man in the Israeli history. Remember?
The squash.
The zucchini, huh? Remember him? He was the one of the Dead Sea Scrolls, his father. Zucchini. He brought them back from America in 1952. And he was a great man, this Yigal Yadin. He restored Masada. He restored Masada. Only it is not Jericho. It is not Megiddo, it's not Beit Sha'an. It's only three ages. Police station, one-man city or one-man area, and then Zealots. Zealots, they were community life. They lived community. We had really with Jesus some Zealots. Well, some Zealots with Jesus.
Simon.
Yeah, one of them, his name is written, mentioned clear as Simon. Yeah, but we had more than Simon. So we mention one name, means we have more than one. But if you go to the real history,
Jews consider him Jewish.
Jewish, yeah.
I got a whooping. A whooping? You ran off. A whooping?
Good question.
Hey, that's a good southern word.
I love to answer you according to Josephus Flavius. If you come to me a moment, maybe you ask a question, how you identify Herod the Great? Who is Herod the Great? Who is Herod the Great? Listen to me how Josephus answers this question. His heart, Roman heart. His religion, Jewish religion. His education, Hellenistic education. This is the man. His heart, Roman heart. He loved the Romans. His education, Hellenism, Hellenistic. Hellenistic is like kind of, listen how I'm sure you studied psychology. Listen, if I love everything done by the others and I hate myself, anything made by the other I import it to myself. This is Hellenism. I say, for instance, this man had a camera. I have no camera. He's better than me. So I bring camera. I don't know how to use it. Bring it to me. I go with my camera. You see? Hellenism is to import the civilization of the others, if it is suitable to you or not suitable. Herod the Great. His religion was Jewish. Jewish religion, Roman heart, Hellenistic civilization. Between two brackets, big liar. Oh dear. No mercy in the history when you teach. No mercy.
What about Ant? Is he considered Jewish?
Who's this?
Here
He's American.
Right. Was he considered Jewish?
We're trying. I'm not
Good for you to be pig in Herod's house than to be his son. Pig.
Are you being sarcastic? Taking so many notes, you can't take anymore. We're just like, you're just hoping it's good. My mind is kind of wide load coming through. That's me. Cowgirl coming through. Right.
Pay for my trip.
Yeah, almost. Well, I wouldn't pay that much. Yeah.
There's 41 people on this.
How are you doing? Good?
Great.
You see, come to me a moment here, we give the chance to the others to finish their visit inside the bathhouse. Bathhouses. Bathhouses, as you remember, this is Hellenistic civilization. Hellenism. Bathhouses, Hellenism. This is it, really. Now, Herod the Great used to go each year once to Rome. Why? Taxes, and we respect you, dear Augustus. We love you, you know. Whatever you like, I am in your hand. So what do you do with this man? אני נתתי רק 5-10 דקות להם שיגמרו עוד לא גמרו.
איפה גרת? בים המלח?
כן. You come from Jerusalem?
לא, ערד.
Arad, yeah. Not very much far. You see, Herod the Great once a year to Rome.
תתקדם קצת.
כן, please.
Look at some of the mosaic on the floor outside of Herod's bathhouse.
The last inch, please. I believe you take cold water if you are in the summertime. So here we have cold water, hot water, sauna, and also warm water. Look always to the black. Below the black is original. Look how clean it was. You see, really clean area. Under this mosaics, you have a drainage to the water. The water is used, goes to the basin behind you. The basin behind you. Maybe they use the water another time for little vegetation up in the top of the mountain, those zealots. You cannot live in the desert 3 years without a green color. If you live 3 years without a green color, you will be a mental case. You need the green color with you. We don't know what, where, how, but this is truth really. They used to use the water other time. So, always look to the black. Below the black is original. Above is real. Leave what's above. Leave it. Look down. See the fresco. See the seats.
Fresco, seats.
Seats. Look to the pavement. How nice and good really floor he had. Very clean floor. Those zealots, they spoiled everything in the bathhouse. I don't know if it was easy to sit beside them in the bus in those days. But maybe they did not shower. They were not in need of anything done by Herod the Great. He is a filthy man. His civilization is bad. Those are the zealots philosophy. You cannot compromise Herod the Great civilization. That was their philosophy. Look down. You see how they spoiled the floor. Look how nice floor. Look the frescoes on the walls.
Oh, yeah.
That just looks like tile, I mean, what we call tile or.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet that was a sauna.
There's your little stool. Sit on that to wash your feet.
You know, this one here, the black line goes up pretty high.
They must have liked this one, didn't tear it down much.
I see where a few heads have bumped.
Yeah. Now come here to me and try to solve all the other important things here. Try to prove to me that the walls are very, very clean walls. Give me a good note, good eye, that you see the cleanness of the walls. You see them? You see the traces of the ceramics? That's it. All the way around ceramics. Try to see the two cracks. There's a crack there, another crack over there. You see? Behind you, another two cracks in the wall. There was a pipe of pottery ceramics to go all the way down to the floor. You see these little pillars now? Yes. You see a piece of the floor above the pillars, yes? This floor was to go all the way above these pillars. Go to the right, the place of the fire and the tank, water tank. There they used to heat the water, to boil the water. Now, after the water is very hot, I'd like to take a shower, hot water shower. I sit on the floor. You shower me. I'd like to take sauna. What I do, I pour the water between the two floors. The steam goes on the pottery, pipes pottery, goes up, and it fills the place on the steam. So I have my sauna, with sauna. Did you understand this? Please again. Walls clean, cemetery, ceramics, pipes. Floor goes all the way, fire, and also tank over there, and it is filled by the steam. If you need steam, if you need hot water, you have hot water. This is the design.
The last half did not hear your explanation of the first room.
Okay, please, if the first room go outside.
This is a tank bath outside of the bathhouse. Not sure of the purpose for it, but you can see how it comes down.
Sure, you use the water goes out. Water goes out. Then it goes in this village to the basin. They have to use the water other time. Okay, let's go.
That's catch basin.
Let's see where they're working some, even yet. There's a ladder going down into a hole.
It's so cloudy, I don't know if it's going to show up. I don't know.
You can see where our bus is way down there.
Take care. Look, I look to the south. This is the south. I look to these houses. These are the houses of the Zealots community. The stores, the food stores. Remember the Zealots
community,
they
food
lived
stores.
Community life. I said from 42 AD until 73, they prepare themselves. It's not easy preparation. You have families, you have children, you have old, you have young, you have men, you have women. How you prepare yourself to the last stand? You need wood. You need many things. You know what you need above them all? You need discipline. Discipline. And now let me study with you this subject in a very easy way. Let me ask you the question.
Let's see.
I have 960 people here. I need for them wood. You have to go to bring me wood. I go to your village, I ask you, within 10 days you have to bring me, for instance, 10 tons of wood. Sure, you are going to say, we don't have enough wood. I don't care. You have, you don't have, I don't know. I know if they kill your sons and your daughters, and you have to do it. Within 10 days you bring me, I'm sure he will bring me. This man, Jackie, is going to bring me the bitumen. You know what the bitumen is called? Kind of coal. We have it here. I will show it today to you, to burn it, because if I don't have enough wood, I will burn the coal. I have it, I will show it to you today. Milk, I bring burghol, or like rice. I put the milk in the rice, or the burghol, it's kind of a grain, we grind it. This absorbs everything, it sucks everything. Then I put this material now on the sunshine. It is dry. After dry, I powder it. Then I bring a beautiful can and write 25% magnesium, 16%. You believe it? Today we are very modern people. We think we have to be only clean, but that, though, really, that's the invention. In our houses, we have these. In Spain, we call it jamid in this area. In Lebanon, we call it kishik. Better than here. Well, you know the main thing is what? Look, June, you know, I really admire this lady. She's very strong. You will be the mother of these 960 people. You are responsible for food. This lady is going to cook today for us. Okay. She comes to you. She needs today 4 kilograms of meat. You need 4 kilograms of meat. She goes to June. June asks me, Give her one. She will take one. She's going to complain, I am sure, really. Oh, stingy, bad man, bad woman, what are they doing? I know really how much money I have in my pocket. You don't know. Do you know how many these Romans are going, how many times they are going to be around us? Who knows? Therefore, discipline is important. Important, really. Whatever you like to complain, I don't care. I know you complain. I don't care, but I know what I have. You don't know what I have. I believe you agree.
You don't wash the dishes, Sandra? We
تعال حقيقي. حقيقي.
I wish I had a video of that. I may have to send you some money to make me a copy. You think you'd do that?
I've already told everybody if I can do it, I'll send them what it'll take when I get through.
How much you have to pay me this after you finish stoning? At least you send me one of these. You send me one. I'm seriously one copy because they made. You still follow this tour.
Copyrights.
Yeah, no. One of them is enough.
We'll take care of you.
Oh, thank you.
Hey,
not only big money.
Next time we come, we get a little cut rate. We send him a copy. You got connections?
Hey, listen, if you solve the problem, I give you a gift. If you not, you give me a gift. Hey, come to me now, everybody.
Chillin'.
Timotheus is going to answer a few questions. You come to me here. Few questions. Everybody hears me can answer it. Now, please really, this is 7 Arches Hotel exactly. This is a palace of Herod the Great, exactly 7 Arches Hotel. You see the first floor were the people, the middle floor, and this is the upper floor, the 3rd floor. You had one staircase between, damaged because of an earthquake. Where those doves are, they are in the wall, from the edge to the edge. Don't accept any idea of somebody tell you more protection. No protection here. Don't accept any idea will tell you more scenery. It's not scenery. Don't accept any idea if somebody will tell you more breeze. No breeze. The same breeze. The only reason Herod the Great built his palace here, this his private palace, is because this man wanted to play alone. He wanted to enjoy himself alone. He did not love anybody. He did not trust anybody. You can go to his bathhouse, enjoy yourself. If he is in need of anyone, he calls here, she comes here. If he is not, she goes to another guest house. You'll see it. But this is privacy. You agree, really, it's only privacy. Nobody can come here. Now, look to me here, down. This is the question to Timotheus. You see, the one in the middle is really his very, very private room. Very private room. Look, it is made a thick wall from outside, vacuum in there, a vacuum, then another thick wall in the middle, then his room. Why is this design?
Quiet.
We said, well, we cannot ask this question to the engineers because they win the gift quickly. You see, this is insulation, right? Insulation from 2 things. Already Royal Stone discovered one of them. Very few people really go to this subject, he said. It is, first of all, insulation from the wind at night. The wind is very strong in that desert, you see, very, very strong. So you sit here, you don't hear the wind, it's quiet. And insulation from what? From heat and cold. Heat and cold. This is like air-conditioned palace in those days. Can I ask you the question? It is easy enough for you. Do you have this instrument in your home? Don't tell me heating or something. Coil. This is the thermos. This is the thermos in your table in the morning, right? Coffee thermos. Thermos was invented, spaghetti from China, but they invented thermos really. Thermos is Italiano invention. And Herod the Great used to go each year to Rome What they invented, they used to bring here. The same as the Japanese do with you. They go, they see your cars, they see how it is nice, they make their cars a little bit smaller, better, good looking, and they make their money. Y'all? We go, let's go, please. Was paranoid man. Paranoid man. Yeah, the sickness. No love. Doesn't say if he had 200 women, he had love. 1,000.
Having a right.
7 or 8 rows with 24
I think I can walk across this. Oh, wow. Again, another one of the Roman camps.
Whitewater. Why?
Well, that's what he's all involved in.
Israelis. Not about. There must be more than 4. Just eat them and go ahead. They cross through. Hold up. This side.
Which planes are those on?
Israelis. Above Judean Desert. Israeli army.
What in the world did they use for roofing and covers? I see all of these little holes, but I don't see.
Now you take my left arm other half a minute.
All right.
I'll show you.
I'll wait.
Everybody is here. This is the water gate. See? There were steps here to lead down to 3 huge. I wanted you really to follow this subject very well because it helps us to solve the problem. Big problem we had of the water. You go all the way down to the steps and then you turn to the left. A huge 3 big cisterns of water. Big ones. They used to fill them from the flood of that valley. See the other valley? There is a water canal to bring the water at the time of the flood to those 3 big cisterns of water. Now, look, the last thing was discovered here, last really 5 months, is what I show you here. And now, our hands are in cold water. We know how to answer all our students, really. Look here, boys and girls, don't miss this. See, there is a canal here. And the canal we followed all the way to the cisterns of the water was discovered by Ehud. Professor Ehud, I will see him here in this area. He is today busy in something else. Look now how we solve the problem now. Imagine I have a flood. In the top of the mountain, we have really about 8 to 10, 15 cisterns of water with the slopes. I have to fill them. Is it enough the rain in these 300 dunam, like 75 acres? Is it enough to fill these cisterns? Sure no. So how I fill them, I have a chain of slaves from here all the way down to the cisterns. Each one has 1 yard between 2. The moment the flood is coming, the cisterns are filled, I have to draw the water in that moment from one to the other. You see, like this, like pumpers, like a pump, exactly. Now I am here, I am the last slave here. What I do in the water here, I pour it where? Here. I give you my water bag, which is leather made from skin of the animal. I give it to you, give me tick all the time. So if the flood will be 1 hour, my slaves are going to do what? To pump all the water to fill these cisterns of water, including my swimming pool. They will see if you have time. You see, do you understand it? Timitaos, we saw the problem. See,
Right here he
this
is.
is really how we solve the problem today, sure, blindly. All the respect to Ehud. You know what Ehud today he's done? He's busy in finding something from 100 BC. And he did not find it.
It was from the water from the valley.
Can't believe my battery's already running down.
You see, just a moment, there was a question here. I promised the lady to answer her soon. The wood, above the wood you have reeds, above the reeds you put the clay. Then you have it. The floor of the houses, either mosaics or from these dolomite where they are broken to small pieces, they are very solid and strong. See, you follow up this water canal all the way to these cisterns of water. Remember, people, especially Americans, when they come here, they see Watergate. You remember your Watergate. In our country, each morning we have Watergate. Yes. What do you do?
Now it's white water.
Yeah, now it's white water. Exactly.
I doubt it. It seems to me like there's more dirty water coming out of it.
Yeah. Well, you know, they make one law for us and another one for the presidents.
That's right. Yeah.
Just about.
Well, this administration has proved you can commit adultery, cheat, lie.
And everything.
Not all.
Hellenistic.
Hellenistic, exactly. Exactly.
Synagogue.
It was really before the destruction of the house of God, before the destruction of everything. Remember, Herod was, if we say Herod was 34 BC until 4 BC, he was when the house of God, when the temple was not destroyed. So this was like a meeting place. A meeting place. They used to meet together to discuss things before the destruction. You know, Jewish people have no temple today, you know that. Even if your friends in America, the Jewish, will tell you on the Sabbath day, I go to the temple. There is no temple. They have synagogues, meeting places. You see, this is a meeting place from the time of Herod, and later was used by the Zealots. The Zealots enlarged this place. They made it a little bigger. What is special here, you know, they found in the other room, see the gentleman, the young fellow is standing there, and in front of them there's a little room. Under the floor of the room, they found one of the copies of 37 Ezekiel. Remember what 37 Ezekiel is? The dry bones, the valley of the dry bones. They compared what they found here with the copy which was found in the Cave of the Scrolls in Qumran. They found that the same writer who wrote this, who wrote the other one there. How can you explain this? When the Romans destroyed Qumran, some of those monks, the Essenes, they escaped to where? To Masada. Also in the book of Ecclesiastic, one of the books of the Ecclesiastic copies was found in that room. There's a room there in the wall, we call the room of the scrolls. One of the copies of the Ecclesiastic was found there. See, this is why we believe that Qumran, when it was destroyed before Masada, before Jerusalem, monks, they came up to Masada. They put themselves here. Jewish monks. It seems they were Jewish monks.
Scan in there real quick. These little rooms along the side. This one's called the Chamber of the Scrolls, where the book of Ecclesiastes was found, as Anton mentioned just a few minutes ago.
Shots that I didn't get. Yeah.
look here behind you, this room with these little pits, you see them? This is the columbarium. Columbarium. It's the Latin, Columbia, you know. Doves, for doves. To mean letter, D-O-V-E-S, huh? To mean letter by pigeons, I know not dogs. La doves, D-O-V-E-S, huh? To mean letter by there. And these are what we call the cannonballs. Look here behind you. The cannonballs, you throw them in the heads of the Romans. Usually, you know, the cannonballs and all the ammunition was in the weakest part of the fortress. The weakest part, because really those Jewish zealots,
The little holes are mailboxes. That's the post office.
On this side, where they built later the ram. The ram was built by the Jewish slaves to help the Romans to climb up. This is why the Jewish that were up in the top of the mountain, they said, we will not kill our brothers. We kill ourselves, and we will not kill our brothers. So this is the post office of the place. The post office, really, they used to use pigeons. Until maybe, I don't know if today they still use them, but not far away from here, they still use pigeons.
Elsie and I first came up the ramp over here. As we got older, they built the lift for us.
We will give a little time to this lady to finish. Many times when really I go with those groups, I go with George. I remember last time I been with George, we came walking from the group from the other side. I told George, look, if you come from Arad, from there, to go, he must go to wait for me the other side. He needs 2 hours to drive, really, to go to wait for the other side. Came back all the way, I was just up here in the top, almost the top, and I saw George still waiting there, down in the parking place. I thought he had something wrong. Then finally he moved up. Indeed, you know, George used his brain. I had with me 2 old people, and they're maybe 78 years old, man and his wife. What George thought that these people are going to return. I mean, they walk maybe halfway, and then they will return. Then they will find nobody to wait for them. Then he waited until he saw all of us up in the top of the mountain. The same group, I had a miracle from them. I explained about this columbarium and the post office by the pigeons, and I was with them in the Roman road. We stopped there, the Roman road, and you see there's another place in the post office, Roman post office, remember? And I said, this is another one, and they used to use it. And believe me, God judged me really. One lady, she came to me. These saw pigeons up there. She said, give these letters. And then I took the letters, I put them in my pocket. I was very serious. George looked like this. He said, what are you going to do with these letters? I will mail them to her, that she will George. Always lots of stories with George.
True story?
Ancient Swerthers.
Oh, sorry. Can you tell me? I'm just kind of looking, so what do it look like?
Sometimes it's good to come to this job from school, to be a teacher. Then you study when you are a teacher, not some methods how to teach. Sometimes you can speak 4 hours for no reason to give anything. And sometimes you speak 1 minute and you can speak more than 4 hours.
Amen.
So I don't know really what's the reason to make the lecture there. There, the only one thing you have to show the ramp that was built by the Romans, the Jewish slaves, Jewish slaves, they built it. And the Romans climbed from here up. And they found really, when they climb up, these 961 bodies. These skeletons, they found them in the Northern Palace, man, woman, and their son, where we came from. And the other 15 skeletons, bones, they found them to the south. And all the other theories, you know, about the water, they turn it when they have the flood to the 3 big cisterns, the other side, you see. But this is from here where they climbed up, when they climbed up. You see? Now I understand the road accidents when I come here. You see, sometimes the driver park in the front of his home in a common road.
care of the grave takes on a whole new meaning now.
Isn't that?
Yeah, that's right.
Great.
Really great who died.
Yeah.
Well,
He obviously was a tyrant. But you know, studying a lot of those emperors and Caesars and kings, a lot of them were selfish.
yeah, and they probably had good advisors. That's
Yeah,
why this
right.
thought I was up to get the credit.
Well, the thing of it is, actually, that's true in the church. You know, in the church, you surround yourself with the right people, you can get a lot done.
His guest house for Herod the Great. 1 acre size of his guest house for his guests. You know, again, this is a place for one man. This is a retreat house for one man. He had many guests used to come to his retreat house. So those who are not in need of them, you know, they can send them to where? To his guest house. And please, really, it is a good homework also for maybe half an hour. People love to walk here sometime. They have extra time to see how many bathhouses you have here in this area. Many bathhouses. You know, many rooms and many bathhouses. I believe really if a guest comes to your home, the first thing you show him his bedroom and his bathhouse. And the same here really, we guess really, the main room for very, very special VIP, you will see it now. But the others, everybody has his own facilities. You know, it's okay. It's a big, big palace for the guests. His private palace was over there. I really forget if somebody is interested in Byzantine churches, you know. There's a Byzantine chapel over there. Byzantine chapel. And indeed, this is the ugliest chapel I saw it in the Holy Land. It's in the desert. You know, not that plaster, not nice building at all really, but monks, they come, they live here maybe 50 years or 60 years and then they left the area. They left the area.
Exactly the same thing.
Oh, I do what they want. Pretty, pretty. Comfortable.
Ken? Yeah, go. There is the Murad there.
This is the bathhouse to the guest house.
Yeah, I'm just.
So take to the right and take a look here to this bathhouse. Try to find all the bathhouse. Look here also in the front of you to the left. Don't miss the left. Look to the right, look to the left.
Steps going down. Steps.
Take a look.
What was that?
Cold. The cold. What the cold bath.
Go back.
Cold bath, yeah. Cold bath over there.
That was a cold bath to go down deeper.
You see, if you have extra money, so you sit there, somebody will shower you. See, there they preserve the hot water. See?
There's where a person would get their shower given to them. A bathtub.
Very nice.
The person sat there and someone would pour the water on them for their shower. Yeah, I'm Tony. You know, like the Mexicans make ceramic tiles, they pour them and then they'll color them, you know, and then they'll take and break them, you know, make squares out of them, and they'll.
Slide 34. Notice the beauty of the design of this small floor in this bathhouse.
After I found that they would open.
swimming pool area here where people would come in to go swimming.
This is in the heart of the desert.
More shots of the swimming pool as they would go down the steps. Right in the middle of this desert. One can imagine getting the water.
About where the group is. If we don't go that way, you can scoot over there.
This man brought all the disaster upon the head of the Jewish people because of the Hellenism he made. Okay, we go now back to George.
As you pan this enormous mountain up here, the guest house, and then Herod's private palace that is looking east over the Dead Sea, looking north toward Jerusalem, and toward the west is the way that the Romans built the wall, the ramp that came up the wall. The drainage of the Dead Sea is quite visible from here. The fact that it ends and then begins again. The Dead Sea has fallen 9 feet in the last few years, making really 2 lakes. See some of the men working on the outer edge, again working on more of the stuff.
Doctor's in to get him. Because he was in such a weird position.
I don't think they should.
Think on the jump. It's a long way down.
I'd prefer you grab my shoulder than my hair, okay?
Actually,
that was fun. I'll have to show this to my kids too. Yeah, I know. I'm sure it is recorded. Look at all that salt.
Hayat Hotel.
This is the Dead Sea. Beautiful tourist area. And believe it or not, it's warm enough to go swimming here. Let's go see if there's anybody dumb enough to swim in this place.
What about all of us grabbing this table and moving it into the
Push water down.
Let's see what people look like when they come out of this. People look like they're not too happy with this water.
Yeah, floating, don't
Yeah. Looks like green slime on them too. This guy's in the water right here saying, I don't know about this. What's that bubbling up there? Notice these folks laying on their stomachs, feet up. Evidently, you can't sink a whale in this water. Does it feel funny? We're going to zoom in on that.
That is unbelievable. Let's go get a close-up on this.
I'm getting a close-up on it.
Oh boy, there. Catch him. Man.
Talking about floating. This dude knows how to do it.
He's been here before.
This is the salt that has already been ground off of it in the background. That is not beach, that's salt. This is the beach. And these are the showers where people rinse the slime off after they get out. The water has an oily consistency to it.
Tell you what, let me go down there and get the camera.
We've got to save this for everybody now.
All right. Turn it on there. Then this zooms it in or whatever.
Did you fill the water before you got in?
It's cold.
Hey, I'm saving some of it for y'all.
I got a bottle, but it's in the bus.
It feels funny, doesn't it?
It's like I was being on an inner tube.
Well, say something you want the folks back home to remember you by.
Everybody ought to do it.
Everybody ought to try it once.
Even you, Tony.
Maybe next time. Tommy's wanting water.
Only if you'll share.
Oh, it's cold.
Fill it up.
Don't worry, you'll float.
Don't get none in your mouth because it's real
I just wish it was warmer.
Believe me, I know.
It is cold.
It's not bad after you get used to it. After you get in, just go easy.
Sit down first.
And then lean back.
It's like having hand lotion on.
Yeah, we noticed it's sort of greasy.
Yeah, maybe that's the stuff that's coming out of all.
What do you say about kerosene?
What did I say about kerosene? That's what they said when you get out, it feels like you got kerosene on you.
It's all right. Just go real slow. Because I'm real cold-natured, and I thought that too, but I can do it. Where did Tommy go? There he is, going down the beach.
Yeah. It's really weird when you sit down and you can't go under. It's just like being on an inner tube.
Just go ahead and sit on down.
Well, you really feel like a cork.
Oh.
Just go ahead and fill your pockets full of that black mud.
This is a great place to learn how to swim.
Sort of numbs your feet. That is wild. Just feel like hand
This is
lotion.
absolutely heavenly.
Can you get one with Keith out here on us?
Do you want to try a picture of this internet?
It won't come out till I try it.
It's very cool, isn't it?
All right.
This is a great place to learn how to swim. Except for the taste.
Thanks.
Uh-huh.
Hey, do the Superman for us.
This is so cool.
That or Mighty Mouse. We are now off of the beach, and you will notice this is a private beach of peace and love, and restaurant of peace and love. And now you notice drag store, souvenirs and cosmetics. Tim's fixing to go get him some makeup. Tim wanted me to take a picture of the two beauties that we have located here on the beach.
Those are called Israeli water buffaloes.
You cannot, there's one thing you cannot catch on this camera, is the sewer is now emptying out where everybody's swimming. And it stinks so bad here you can't hardly breathe. Describe it for them, Tim. Go there and point to it.
That is the worst place I've ever smelled.
Tell us about it.
Well, it was wonderful, and now I'm freezing.
Well, how do you feel about the smell of the stench as you come out?
It smells like morning breath.
After eating what the night before?
Pump it back in. Burnt turkey.
Tony, listen to this explanation on what that actually
We
is.
checked with the guy that just drove up, the beach patrol. And they dredge up this mud from the bottom. The mud is the same thing they package up here in this beauty factory and for face masks, seriously. And that's the reason a bunch of people, that's the reason all these ugly women got in there real quick. It's kind of like the spirit, you know, how can I get in there unless somebody helps me? Everybody looking at this stuff.
Yeah, we're having fun seeing what all he can do on one foot. Can you put on any other shows?
Any ugly men. I mean, they're pitiful. This is enough to make a monk go celibate.
You didn't get it in time. She's sitting there, but
Smile.
Mother, how do I do
Smile.
it?
Smile, Gina.
Where's your sock?
You broke my camera, Anna.
L and an R on the side.
And that's the L.
Just think, after we get back and everybody watches this video.
Oh, are you filming this?
Oh, sure.
And these little marks here go towards your heel.
Salt over there.
Hold your ice cream.
Salt's over here.
Show the sign. Ben and Gary's ice cream.
What's that size cost?
You think this is locked is why?
Ice cream. Hey, I could use that on my watermelon. Explain to me how you use that rock salt.
Well, the cows just walk up to it and lick on it. I don't know about the horses. Yeah, riding the horses. Deer too. And as a kid, we used to chip it off and then get us a little bit of it.
I put on here that I was told that was locked is why.
We're now leaving the Judean Desert and entering into the Negev.
The last chapter in Zechariah. Look here, we go up to Arad to the right, to Beersheba, to Gaza. Please, your maps are really very important. To the right, this is the road of the salt. S-A-L-T. Egypt to Egypt, the road to Egypt, to your right hand, salt. Here, Abraham to Beersheba, to your right hand.
There's the way you would go to
We leave it, you see. Now we are in the Negev, in the desert. I created your country, 3 countries.
Was that first one on the map?
Feels really thin.
Was some of you read 14 Genesis, did you?
That's Mount Sodom to the
No?
right hand here.
I gave you homework up and down to read Genesis 14.
What is this right here, which means?
Remember Abraham, he followed those thieves all the way up. And the kings, after they fought with each one with the other, they fell in the pits of tar. Did you come to this idea? There are many caves in this mountain, and these caves, they are pits of tar. They're like cylinders. You see them now soon.
Many caves have
Cylinders
pits
of tar. They were filled by tar, and the tar went to the Dead Sea. So this black stuff you have it in the Dead Sea is the tar indeed. Please read again 14 Genesis. And in the east, on Mount Really, I have a group from Kentucky. We start from Amman, we come to Israel, via Eilat. Petra via Eilat. You see them? What you see? No, yes?
Yeah, I see it.
Are you sure you see them? Look here to the right.
Look up
Real salt, huh?
Salt.
You see these cylinders? Make sure you see these cylinders. They were in those days like caves. Where the kings, they fell
right
in these
there.
caves. Look, they collect where they collect the salt after they grind. You see it?
See
Here
those
to the
little
left.
holes?
This was at the bottom of the Dead Sea.
This is the bottom of the Dead Sea. Salt.
Here. But I will show you his first wife. It's better. To please the bishop of Indonesia, you know, he was very stubborn. I do not see a stubborn bishop like him.
Mount Sodom, and there is nothing on this mountain but dirt. No green
See many of them. You
vegetation.
see salt, really,
Nothing.
these are pillars of salt. What you see, the clay is made by the wind, was moved by the wind. You see, you look here, this is the cave of Sodom. Cave of Sodom.
Cave of Sodom.
To the right. Sodom cave.
Look at compared to the size of those cars.
Yeah, this is really the salt. The sea is much more easy to
I see
grind.
the silvers a lot better than I see them.
Please, you know, I wanted you really to ask my best friend George about my experience in here. He had a hammer. He had the hammer with him once. And once we gave him, look the cylinders here to the right. See the cylinders? These are pits of tars.
They poured,
you know, pits of tars.
Pits of tar in those.
Look here, damn it, tell me. This is his Nigerian wife. Look, the pillar of salt here to the right. To the right. And when why you see no, you know, please, he was Muslim. Straight up. Many wives.
There must be
Now,
another.
why George? You know why George? Really, I have to tell you.
Well, as we have said so many times, supposedly, this is Lot's wife. She's grown over the years to a pretty good sized lady.
Off of Lot's wife's toe. It's pure salt. That's Lot's wife. Yeah, that's Lot's wife.
Okay, that's what I thought.
This is her toe.
Talk about white beaches, huh?
There's so
many little salt bars out there.
Yeah, this water is just, you see, it's just almost pure salt.
Look, we have the red formation. You see there to the left? Yes.
This is
you
what
see
they
to the right, the
use to
place of the
pull the
pipe.
salt
After they grind it, it
out of the
goes.
water.
The pipe pump it up, and then the pipe takes it up and put it there. This is the food processor monument. Dead Sea salt factories. See here to the right.
That's pretty impressive.
Did you see it? Okay, nice. Food processor.
Nice food processor.
Look at the end here. The trucks go from here. You see here they are preparing to take all this wall of salt
The trucks just drive out.
down to Mount Sodom to the factories.
See, this is grass.
Trains under the rocks. They come under the rocks. These are the bitumen. You will see them now soon to our left hand in some place. Deny smoke. No need for that. Yeah, see. This is really something unbelievable unless you smoke and you stop smoking. You come here and you know how you enjoy life. You know, cigarettes, it's the best. I don't have anything
There's where we
against
stopped
those
for lunch,
smoke.
where the beach
No,
was
but
at.
it's better no really. Right.
So there's the sewage line, bad water line, that begins even above the Sea of Galilee, carrying the bad water down to the south. Right here along the edge of the Dead Sea is the reeds, which indicates that there's fresh water. We're getting closer toward Jerusalem. That's the Dead Sea in the background, and reeds here along the edge of the water.
See them?
Them right there? There's
Oh, nice.
ivy.
There must be 8. I count 7, huh?
out here in the
Mother ate. They
Judean
must have
wilderness.
ate. I mean, they go couples only.
Essenes from Asia, Essenes. Jewish monks, they decided to make copies to the Bible. The idea was to teach the Bible to everybody. What is special in teaching the Bible? To teach the law. Because their philosophy was teach the law, let the people know the law. There is only one law, that is the law of God. That's in the Bible. What is special in that period? The period is 160 BC. 100, you start always from this subject in 160 BC. I think you remember what happened in 160 BC. The Greeks were defeated by Judah the Maccabee. The Jewish said, it's a miracle. How can little people like those Maccabees, Hasmoneans, how can they win the victory against very strong army? How can they win the 6-day war, those wars, against the Greeks, if not miracle from God? Therefore, they said, this is the coming of the Messiah. Let the people be ready. How you let the people ready? Make copies of the Bible and teach the Bible. And they started really, those monks, they came from Judea, man only, man, and they had hierarchy, like superior, something below, and they divided the work between those monks. They lived in this area. So let me give you an example. This boy, his job is to make me 1,000 copy of Isaiah 1. This man will make me 1,000 copy of Isaiah 2. You make me 1,000 copy of Isaiah 3. You make me 1,000 copy of Isaiah 4. At the end, how many copies I have? 1,000 copy of the book of Isaiah. The same Ezekiel, the same any other book. All the books they copied, and this work took from 160 BC and until 68 AD. Exactly. 68 AD, the Romans destroyed Galilee, came to destroy Jerusalem. They said, a group of teachers in this pocket, go destroy them. They went to this group of teachers here in this area and they destroyed them. Those monks, they prepared those jars and they put the Dead Sea Scrolls, what we know them, the books of the Bible, in jars and they hid them. Where they hid them? In the caves. They were hidden in the caves until 1947. 1947, 2 men, maybe 3 really, 2, we know them, one of them died last month really. His brother is still alive. We see them, we used to see them really sitting here. They are very frustrated Bedouins. One of them is sitting here many times, I don't know. Maybe you will see him, I don't know really. They enter the cave number 1. Look where is cave number 1. You see this rock here in front of you, the first rock. There are some pillars there, some posts, you see them? Near the same level. As if we walk like this, we go straight to that level. Here, you see? That's cave number 1. They found a hole, they start to throw rocks, had an echo, they opened a hole, they were very happy when they saw a jar. The jar, they said the treasure. They opened the jar, sad. Nothing in the jar except leather. They took a leather to this shoemaker, Abu Antul Kando. He's really having a very real shop of souvenirs of antiquities, real antiquities. He saw the leather, he gave the Bedouins 2 beautiful shoes, and he took it from them. He took it from them and he gave it to the Bishop of Bethlehem. Bishop of Bethlehem sold it to the Americans $250,000. These Americans, they took it to America and they were in America until 1952. 1952, the Americans, as you remember, they discovered, they really invented carbon-14. Another 5 years, the 20th century is going to die, to sleep. Remember, one of the great inventions happened in the 20th century, it was carbon-14. Don't let it be small in your eyes, this carbon-14. The Americans examined those scrolls by carbon-14, and they said these are authentical, real, 100%. And those were the books of the Bible. They were hidden in these caves, all these caves. You see, there are 11 caves in this area. 11 caves are associated with the Dead Sea Scrolls. 11. All the books were found except the book of Esther. The only one book was not found until now, the book of Esther. All the other books were found. You see, that is cave number 1 over there, the famous cave. And all the other caves really are marked. The last one to the left, you see there's a cave to the left of the slope, very steep slope. The last one like this, that's cave number 11. Hebrew today, there's not change between. This is the really main thing in the story, that Everybody knows this story, and you are really have to remember the story of those two Bedouins, a family, deep family, Mahmoud al-Deeb and his brother Ahmed al-Deeb. I think Ahmed who died, Mahmoud. Really, we saw him sitting here once, and I'd like to walk with you here, and we will speak more because the rain, stop the rain, and then we will walk. Although,
Can we go up to the
Oh, that's a little deep spot if you're not watching for it.
I don't want to come between friends.
again, really, I don't want to stay here until we'll have the flood in this valley. Indeed, if we will have a strong rain for half an hour, we'll have flood in these two valleys, this one and the other one. Those are seen, those monks, they connected these two valleys in a canal. You see, there's a road here going all the way down. You can see the remainder of the road. All the way up, this is near a water canal. They connected the two valleys together, connected them, and they brought the water to these cisterns of water. This is the area of cisterns of water.
This is
Now,
first
in the
cistern.
summertime, it is really lots of heat here. Indeed, the average in August here will be 120. So every drop of water, if you don't cover it, if you don't make a roof above these cisterns, it
Average
seals up.
temperature
It goes up.
120
So
during
how
the
they
summer
seal-
right
so
here.
the problem with the evaporation, they made their homes above these cisterns, houses. Assyrians, those monks lived either in houses, or in tents, or in caves, or in booths. Remember the four. This is really the way that they lived in this area. And they were men only, they were from Judea, and they said not to live anymore in Judea. They said Judea is filthy. Filthy because of Hellenism. Hellenism. Remember, they did not compromise Hellenism. Come to the desert, it's clean. Nobody here is coming to spoil your civilization or education. Nobody. You come here, you meet your God face to face. This is their policy, and teach the people the way of God. It is a voice in the desert. What's it? Prepare the way of God. I don't want to put John the Baptist with them, really. I don't want. Remember, what is John the Baptist? What did you expect to see in the desert? A reed shakes by the wind? No, this is not John. John is what? He's the voice in the desert. Prepare the way of the Lord. I don't want to put him between. But if I put it in between, please don't give me zero. This is...
They were pottery that was get them. Was it bottles or pottery? Clay jars, that's what I heard. Clay jars.
But see, I thought I said
Notes at home. Yeah. Dr. Flat notes, that's what I got.
Go ahead. Y'all didn't have
We call it the Cave of the Scrolls. Today, if you buy any video cassette made last month or 1 year ago, they call it Cave number 4, not anymore. We call it today the Cave of the Scrolls, this one.
Cave
Why
of the Scrolls, or number
Because
4.
in this cave they found a jar, and in the jar, 15,000 copies.
How many?
15, 1, 5 and 3 zeros.
15,000 copies.
In this cave, really 15,000
Found 15,000 copies of Scripture
of
here.
the scroll they were found here. To understand the subject, and they put them, many of them they were put in this cave, but they were scattered in all these caves. The famous, well-known cave is this cave. This is the Cave of the Scrolls, or we used to call it Cave number 4. This is the title of this cave in the front room because it shapes like number 4 from here. That's number 4 really. Then we changed the name. You see, be careful, please don't come. 68 AD, the area here was better. The access was easiest from up. The only one problem 2,000 years ago, the Dead Sea level. Dead Sea level was below the cave, like 7 yards below the cave. See, those Assyrians, when they put the scrolls in here, they said, who's going to reach them? Nobody. This is really how they thought. All the subject is very easy. But your duty really is to use it in America. Please, really, you have today a very big duty in America and your country. Church of Christ, you should do something. You must do something. You know, there are groups of people today in the world that they think that the Bible today is not the same Bible in those days. Please, they are wrong. The only way to prove to those people with a beautiful smile near a cup of coffee and a cake, invite them to your homes. Tell them about the Dead Sea Scrolls story. Please, really, you can win at least 1 million not to demonstrate in Washington, D.C. Truly, I say the truth. I know them because I meet them many times in my work. They would tell me that the Bible today is not the Bible in those days. I tell them this story, very easy. You know, everybody knows what I told you. Every second person in the world, they know about the Dead Sea Scrolls. But the second part of the story is your Bible and my Bible. Your Bible and my Bible was arranged by Rabbi Rashi, 1000 AD. This is important to remember. 1000 AD, there was a rabbi. He used the Bible, what we call the Bible of Eretz Israel, the copy of the Bible of Eretz Israel. 1000 AD, he did not have any idea about the Bible which was here. You know why? This is really the copy of Ezra. How you say, Ezra. The copy of Ezra, it was here. It was hidden in the cave. 1947, when the Bedouins found these copies here, and 1952 the Americans opened them by carbon 14. Indeed, 2 months ago, it was in the Time magazine, the Americans re-examined those scrolls back again by carbon 14. See, and they found they dated in the same date. So your Bible and my Bible, they really have, the one who arranged your Bible, my Bible, had no idea about what's here. Do I believe 100% you agree? You see, no doubt in this. And, you know, the moment I say to these friends, hey, dear friends, you know, after we examine my Bible and your Bible, with the Bible which was hidden here in these caves, it is the same Bible. Now, it's a miracle from God to prove to those people that this is the same Bible. Number 3 in the subject, really, it's for us as Christians. And now, what is the main? It is only Old Testament. What's here was only Old Testament. Only Old Testament. What's the main thing in the Old Testament? You know, the main thing in the Old Testament is the Messiah. Messiah. The other things, history and literature, stories, but the main thing is the Messiah. The Messiah, we see him in the New Testament. So the fruit of the Old Testament is what? Yeah, the continuation is really the New Testament, the Messiah. So if I prove to my brothers, the Jewish people, that their Old Testament is right, it means the New Testament is 100% right. See? Then the point is why the Jewish did not accept the Messiah and he came and they did not accept him. Easy. St. Paul says that. He answered this really. St. Paul to the Romans, he says, and I am Jewish, and I am from Benjamin. And thank God, because my people did not accept the Messiah. Because if they accepted him, they will not give him to the others. So the duty of the Gentiles, first they accepted the Messiah. You accepted the Messiah before the Jewish. So your duty is to return the Messiah to the Jewish, which is very easy. I don't need him anymore. I am redeemed. I don't need him anymore. I give him to those who need him. This is our duty. See, the subject of the Dead Sea Scrolls is really great subject. And the duty of the Christians all over the world to prove to those who are not Christians that the Bible, I don't want to tell them about the New Testament. I tell them the Old Testament. The Bible is authentical and nobody changed, nobody added, nobody omitted at all from the Bible. This is really chapter 22, Revelation. St. John says the one who added something to the Bible, God is going to add tribulation to his life. And the one who omitted anything from the Bible, God is going to omit his life. Bible is Bible. Imagine you take the whole book of Isaiah, not one verse is missed. Imagine that. It's not a miracle. Sure. Who discovered that? Who discovered that? Philosophers? No, really. I hope you see him. Some of them He is not 1 year in the school, not elementary, the one who found them. To whom they were given? To a shoemaker. Shoemaker, if you like to insult somebody in this country, you say to him, who are you? You are a shoemaker. Shoemaker, he knew all the secrets of these caves. Imagine. And this is the subject. This is the point. The point is to speak the subject to anybody. You are, please really, you will be as the others here. You are not a tourist, you not come only to take pictures. You have to use this subject, use it. The Dead Sea Scrolls is a great subject to prove that the Bible is authentic and real. And the one who denies this, he is ignorant. Yes, I see it. Malam did not see because he has no brain. He don't has a brain to see.
Another cistern. Oh, them things, yeah, them things are rough.
Take just a shot right around over here. So
Go ahead.
Thing that they thought they found out in here somewhere. I heard
That wasn't one of the...
Does this place always stink like this, Everett?
What?
Does this place always stink like this?
That's pretty dirty. Except inside the house. They keep them clean.
Kevin says inside the house is clean. Outside leaves a little bit to be desired.
Yeah. What you want to eat there tonight?
How you folks stand this? They got a trolley up here.
Oh man.
Yellow burn. So it looks like you go in there, you'll come out. How come Lazarus has a tomb? I thought he was rich. So is this something?
There are lots of things to show you in Bethany, but there is one thing you have not to forget. Please really remember, Jesus loved the people of Bethany. Indeed, if you give me a chance to write an article of a book about Bethany, I summarize it, Jesus and a priest. We take it from the Aramaic, the house of the poor people. It's better really. The house of the poor people. You remember how much they loved him. Remember how much great, beautiful fellowship was between them and him really. Remember when Lazarus died, those girls, the people, they come to comfort them. And they knew that Jesus is in the village. You know, remember that? Yeah. What they said to him, the one of them went to say, please, where you were? If you've been with us, he did not die. You take it, you know, in order to understand the people, you must live with the people. This is why sometimes you don't understand my jokes, I don't understand your jokes. But if I live with you, I understand you and you understand me. This is Jesus with these girls. You know what she said to him? Where you were. If you were with us, he did not die. What's the meaning of that? You know what the meaning of that? She's saying to him, really, take care, please. The car is coming. Two cars.
Speeding death bullets.
Two cars. You see, it means really she said to him, When you was tired, we give you a cup of Turkish coffee. When you was thirsty, we gave you this mineral water to drink. When you was hungry, we gave you to eat. You have no room, we gave you to stay, to sleep. And here, when we need you, you did not show your face. This is really what she said to him, exactly literally. And remember, he answered her, this is not your business. What has happened is for the glory of God. That's it. Don't open your mouth. This is what really he said. Where did you put him? Imagine he went to the tomb, and Jesus said three things. He called him in his name, number one, and he said, loose him, and then let him go. Let him go. And in the banquet of you remember the leper, he was in the house of Simon the leper. In the banquet there, Lazarus was sitting with him in the banquet. These people really loved him. They loved him. It's a great love between this man and those people. And indeed, go to the Gospels, you will find Jesus stayed one night in Jerusalem. One night only in Jerusalem Jesus stayed. And it was in the prison of the high priest. The one night he stayed was in the prison of the high priest. And all the 3 years, Jesus used to stay either in Bethany or in the caves of Mount of Olives. I hope the people of Bethany love Jesus as much as he loved them. And we go now to Lazarus Tomb. There's a cave all the way down. You see it, and you return back. Before that, look, this is a biblical article. Be careful. This is one of the scars of David.
Okay.
See?
Have a look. 1, 2.
Be careful, your mother-in-law. More heads.
Going down to the tomb of Lazarus.
Try to get used to the flash down here.
Hey, that's a slick one there.
Grab the handrail.
Keep your hands firmly gripped the hold of the rain rail. We don't want this to be a tomb for anybody else.
From here you jump.
Oh man.
Very slow. Do you see that sling he had? That was neat. Sling shot.
It's not really a slingshot.
It's a sling.
Well, yeah, that's their kind of slingshot.
They got the arch of the Byzantine here.
Can David get it right here?
I reckon.
I don't see where this is hewn into stone though.
Is this supposedly where they put the body, or
Yeah, down and then see the.
are we supposed to go down in there?
Hang on there.
I don't know.
Hold on just a second. I'm gonna look.
Well,
and
there's
see.
steps there.
Tony, you can go.
Yeah, you go first. We'll follow.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Don't get stuff.
We'll see what happens to you.
See if
Watch your head, though.
I'm the only one who had the bravery to come down in here.
Oh, it's
Well.
water! Get out, guys!
He's just kidding. Hey, what's it like down there? What are they doing?
Thing to do is just get on your knees.
No, it's just a broom. You can't even take a good picture.
This is where they put idols and stuff in there.
There's the room that I just went in. Going out now.
Watch your head
I
there.
see where there are only two small
Somebody already
bridges.
bumped there.
Outside this entrance, it is little to be desired.
Lazarus.
Come forward.
James, Must be the church there that he was talking about.
People run you down just like the frogs do.